Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. Today I want to talk about placebo effect and nocebo effect. Everybody knows about the sugar pills. You take them, and our mind makes us feel better. Well, those effects are over 90% effective, and we still don't understand it why, but I know why. And the opposite effect, if you think something, bad's going to happen because you take this, yeah, it's over 90% effective also. So very interesting. There's a ton of studies about the nocebo effect and the placebo effect. There was a cancer study with about fatigue, and the placebo effect was greater than the actual medication they were giving for the fatigue that they were trying to get rid of. The medication only worked about up to 29% of the people were feeling better. Well, with the placebo, the sugar pills, it was actually 35% better. I was like, wow, look at that. That's just amazing, amazing. Obesity study, we're giving people talk therapy, giving them exercise, and giving them diets and all kinds of things like that, and they give them pills, and it was really interesting that the group that was that they just got the sugar pills was just as effective as the ones that got the regular pills for losing weight. So there you go again. Depression. Those who were given talk therapy, medications, seem to have their symptoms subside by about 70%, and the same goes for the placebo group that they had. So I think it's really interesting. No, the nocebo effect, people don't take that into account enough. When we start thinking, something bad is about to happen, or we're thinking negatively about something, we never think about our words and how powerful they can be. I happen to know somebody that keeps saying, boy, if something happened to me, and they keep setting this up like something is going to happen to them, this person's been in and out of the hospital a lot. Well, if I don't survive, don't live too long. Well, of course, you're not going to live too long if you keep saying that. This is cause and effect. Also, they found that people live to be about as old as they say they're going to be. You know, uh, if you say you're going to live to be 35, on the average, within a couple years, you'll live to be 35. If you say you're going to live to be 67, on the average, you'll live to be 67, 69, and somewhere in there. If you say you're going to live to be 101, on the average, you'll be live to be from 99 to 103, somewhere in there. It's really interesting. And it worked every single time. What we believe has a huge amount of difference. Of course, taking into account, getting hit by a bus and stuff like that. There's always that chance that God wants you now. And so, what we think is a belief that this is going to work, or boy, I don't like this idea of this cancer drug. It has too many side effects, and we get the nocebo effect. That's not going to work. It's going to work in a negative way. So our belief, and what is a belief? Belief is having faith, of course. There's no doubt about it. In all the spiritual texts, it talks about, uh, you know, you just have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. There's no doubt about that. Even it's talked about in the Bible. It's talked about in the Buddhist text. It's talked about in the Hindu text. It's talked about in the Quran. It's talked about in all the texts that our beliefs mean everything. And so it's about allowing ourselves to know how am I speaking with myself? Am I thinking about stuff in a positive way, or am I being very negative about everything? And when we start doing this negative self talk, we were actually setting ourselves up for some negative things to happen. And that's why it talks about in all the spiritual texts also that we should be positive about everything, and never speak negative about anybody in any way, because it all comes back to us. It's when we point the finger at somebody, then the thumb is pointing back to us. So there's this belief that every thought is reverberated throughout the universe and comes back a thousandfold to us. And just with the placebo effect studies and the nocebo effect studies, it really is true. Our beliefs make a huge difference. Bruce Lipton did, the power of beliefs. In his books about the beliefs and the cell wall. If we believe something, it actually changes our cell wall. And so that's really interesting. If we decide that we're going to, we're always going to have pain, of course, what do you think we're going to have? Going to have pain. If we decide, that we're going to get well eventually, what do you think happens? We eventually get well. When I had my kidney disease, they wanted to put me on, dialysis or give me a kidney transplant. I said, or also put me on steroids. And I said, ain't no way, Jose. This is not going to happen. And I said, I'm going to get better. And you know what? Today I am better, totally better. And I have to say that is the power of the mind also, and the power of our heart, and where God lives with, that dwells within us, that energy, that great expansion of energy. We are nothing but energy, and energy is coalesced into the physical forms that we are. And that's even in science. We know this now from quantum physics, that we are nothing but this energy which is fluxing in and out of the quantum mix. And everything around us is that same idea. And also that we have multiple dimensions going on at the same time, and there's other dimensions that are happening. And on the other side of the veil, what we call heaven is just in another dimension, that other plane that we have not really touched unless you are a spiritual person and actually, gone to that place, understood that place, or seen that place. And it's all very interesting. And I think that we have to take into account every single day, what am I telling myself? How am I speaking with myself? How am I being positive about that guy that cut me off at the corner in the car? Am I being positive about the guy that tried to shortchange me in the store? All these different things. We can be angry and mean and get, but all that really just comes back to us. And allowing ourselves to change our thinking, allowing ourselves to change our thoughts, allows us to move to a higher vibration. Talking about moving to a higher vibration, I've been trying for 2 years to release my Kundalini energy. It's not something I recommend for everybody. You will get sick if you're not ready. There's no doubt about that. For the first time, I ended up with high blood pressure, nausea, ended up with, fatigue and dizziness and all kinds of different stuff. And I'm going, not doing this again. Yeah, about a year later, you start forgetting all those symptoms after a while. And I did it again. And it was the same thing. I got sick again, nausea, fatigue, dizziness, high blood pressure, but it finally disappeared. And a few weeks ago, I forgot all those symptoms, and I did it again, and finally released that Kundalini energy through my body. And wow, what an amazing, interesting process this is. I'm still going through it, still understanding it, but I immediately saw, in my mind's eye, I saw everything. I saw the spiderweb of energy that was around all the planets, all the galaxies, all the universes, and how they're all interconnected with one another. And this energy is pulsating with the energy that we have going on with our thoughts, and every thought creates a different amount of energy throughout that system. And every time we change to a negative thought, it pulls some away. Every time we put a positive thought in, it pushes more out there. It's really very interesting. And I could see the spider web as plain as day. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. And this morning in my meditation, I had all of a sudden I saw this huge golden Buddha. It was not just Buddha, it was Christ and Muhammad and Krishna and everybody, all the great saints, and there was energy coming into this Buddha, and at the same time this huge light was expanding from his forehead as love, and that really made me understand. But everything is connected. Everything is connected to that one basic energy, which is love in the universe. And when we start to allow ourselves to know and understand that, uh, this will be the understanding of the real, true building blocks of everything else. This was talked about in all the spiritual texts. The basic building block, that the glue that holds everything together, is nothing but the simplicity of love itself. And I think that's pretty amazing. I think that we need to allow ourselves to look at our self-talk every day. Allow ourselves to sometimes script a few things, a few affirmations that we could say to ourselves every morning. In fact, I do a full length of affirmations every morning. I tell myself this is going to be a great day. I do them 3 times every time. Today will be a great day. Today will be a great day. Today will be a great day. Everything is going to be wonderful. Everything's going to be wonderful. Everything's going to be wonderful. Great things are coming my way. Great things are coming my way. Great things are coming my way. On and on and on. I'm extremely healthy. I'm extremely healthy. I'm extremely healthy. I'm full of love, light, peace, happiness, contentment, truth, and bliss, and on and on and on. And those things start to interact with our unconscious mind. And from there, we start to interact with the whole universe. I mean, everything is consciousness. And that's talked about in the Hindu scriptures, and it was talked about by all the great saints and sages throughout time, that everything has consciousness. Even the Native Americans talked about this too. So we really need to understand that everything is conscious. I remember Sai Baba one time, somebody came in and he wanted to give them a gift. And he was going to give them a gift, and they chose something different than what he had given them. And he looked at what he was going to give them, some cloth that was, in India they make beautiful cloth. And he looked at the cloth that they didn't choose, and it was dripping wet. And they said, "What's wrong with that cloth?" And he said, "It's unhappy that you didn't choose it. It's crying." It was like, wow, look at that. Very interesting. Everything has a feeling about it, a vibration about it, an understanding about it. And had some great friends, and one lady that I knew years ago, and I still know she's a great friend still now, and she was very much into the Native American way. And she would come up to a bunch of pebbles on the ground, and she would pick one up and bless it and put it back down. Or she'd come to a stream, she'd pick up a little rock and bless it and put it back down. And she became extremely lucky, and right now, I don't think that's connected, but she's a millionaire also. So, but everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we interact with, every action that we take leads us in a positive or negative direction. And I think that we need to address that in our lives, I think that's really important. I think if everybody was positive in this life, there would be no wars. It would be a thing of the past, totally. If everybody was positive in this life, I think that there wouldn't be any housing shortages, there wouldn't be any food shortages. I think there would be absolutely no problems whatsoever if everybody was thinking on a positive line, a path, a spiritual direction. and understanding. And from there, everything would grow and great things would happen. So think about what kind of self-talk you're doing. Are you doing the placebo effect or the nocebo effect in your life? And remember, this is belief. And we have science behind us knowing that this is belief, and it's even more powerful at times than, you know, what we do with regular science. So it's powerful. So remember, what your beliefs are make a huge difference. If you care to subscribe, I really appreciate that. We're trying to get these numbers up a little bit more. If you want to get a hold of me, all my consultations are always free. My phone number is down below. My email is down below. My Skype address is down below. You can get me on my Facebook page under Dr. Paul Haider, and you can message me up above, Dr. Paul Haider. And I'm always available, except at night. I got to sleep too. I go to bed by 8 p.m., so uh, give me a little time to sleep. I do need a little time to sleep, but I'm always here for you. If it be herbal or whether it be a spiritual process or some kind of other process going on in your life, I love to be able to help in any way, shape, or form I can. And if you care to make a contribution, a donation, that is really, really greatly appreciated. And the link is down below also. So have a wonderful day, and remember, most of all, I love you.